Hi, I'm Clifford II, and welcome to another episode of Impacting Lives that Impacts the World. What was so interesting about the book, Salaam, is that, and you talked about it today in the workshop for the Bronx Community College students, how y'all were already writing to a higher being about what you want in life. Just kind of elaborate on that so the audience understand.
So the book, Small Book, Black Love, Small Book of Big Truth, is not a book we sat there to say, let's write a book. This literally are those notes that we were scribing while we were sitting on the sofa figuring out, should we get married, what would be necessary to keep the marriage together because we weren't interested in the D word, all those things, and then it evolved. And again, it also has some of the letters we wrote, the emails we wrote to each other while we were dating, where we were not dating, the notes that I slipped in his pocket on the honeymoon when he was getting me angry, and apology letters from both, or just friendly love notes, or dreams that we had. So it wasn't even that it was born as a book consciously. It was later, when we were approaching our first anniversary, that I said, you know what would be a really good idea is to pull together, and not keep everything, you know, they say girls do that. I had all of those pieces of paper, and then we started writing them on the computer to start compiling them to keep it for our archives. And then figuring, okay, that would be a great anniversary celebration. How do we give thanks? By giving back, and let's make it a book and give people examples of our love.
I've written a letter to God, and not was it just writing a letter to God, but it was actually being very clear on exactly who it was that I really knew I needed in my life and wanted in my life, that was going to help me to become the man that I knew I was here to be.
Now today you were saying something really, really inspiring to the students, is that you need to stay in your lane. And you also need to bring value to a relationship. Kind of elaborate on how you was explaining that to the students, but it was really powerful.
Well, thank you very much. People have a tendency, and I'm a woman, so I get the right women to say this right now. Women especially have the tendency of saying, he's not this and he's not that. Females will create a list of all the things that the male needs to have. And I usually say, well, what's on your list? And they're kind of throwing it back. Come on, Salaam, you know, but no, seriously, what's on your... I have a list. I have a self-assessment, self-improvement. I'm always in my constant state of reinvention. And I want to be able to... I want the person I would want to be with to be very proud of me and to enjoy me and to see me and say, wow, when I come in this space. I want them to be able to say they experience and have a relationship with somebody that's awesome as well. Women have a tendency of knowing what this man is supposed to be and completely forgot she had a role in it. Women do this all the time. So even when I bring it up to the sisters, they feel like, well, he's a man, so he's supposed to. I said, actually, no. A relationship is a total of 200%. 100% and 100%. You know, that brings it together. And that's what makes it so powerful. And that's why a power couple can exist, because now you have this crazy light over you as opposed to just 100% or 125% or 50%. Both people coming to the table. Women have a tendency of thinking it's the man's responsibility because we are taught to also see men as providers. So you want to stay in your lane means, what is your purpose for being born and being on the planet, and become the better you and fulfill your individual greatness, because the person that you're asking for deserves great. I want a bachelor's degree, or I want a well-rounded, holistic, healthy husband. Whatever it is that you want. One, have you seen the ending? Have you seen it? Do you know what it is? And have you started creating the steps that it takes for you to be deserving to get it? Everybody keeps talking about what the other person is or isn't. What are you bringing to the table? Because whether you believe in the Most High or not, she exists. So if the person that you're looking for, or the degree that you want, or even the job and the salary that you want is there, and it is there, it is valuable. So why would that which created it or them allow you in their life or that position or that space if you don't deserve it? So if this brother's a wonderful man, and if you're in the process of looking for a husband that just happens to be exactly what he's made of, you don't have any business just hoping that he's that. You got to be worthy of him because he's favored also. So why would that energy that favors him even let you come and mess up his stuff?
So also in the workshop today, Trevor, you were elaborating on how you had so many distractions in your life, and you didn't realize they were distractions until they were going out of your life. And then you were doing a little song about where are all my friends and stuff like that. Just kind of elaborate, let the audience understand, that aspect of your life.
Yeah, when the question was posed, what was it that I had to do? What took place in between the time of up into the time of really when I met my wife? What was happening in my life at that time? And I realized I had a lot of self-destructive behaviors that I wasn't quite fully aware of, and it wasn't until I began to really ask myself questions, like, what is it that I really desire in life? Why am I not feeling so happy? Or, why am I doing it? Why am I drinking so much? Or why am I engaged with this person? When this person treats me like that, or, when it's just about the physical and there's nothing else to it. Why am I doing these things? And then that's when I really started going within and really started going on my own personal journey of really discovering who I truly am. And at that point, when I started doing that, I started realizing that my life was changing. The people I was surrounded by, the things that I was doing, those people that I thought, were my friends, and I was, referring to the song, I think it's by TLC, they talk about, what about your friends? I was like, where are my friends? Because nobody was around anymore, and it really made me begin to truly understand what is true love, and those folks and those homies like, yo, I love you to death, and this, that, and the other, but when it came down to it, and it came down to me really elevating myself and taking myself to the next level and really becoming that man, a true man, to become that king, nobody that I thought was friends were around to support me, and so I had to replace, those, when we release something, we have to replace it with something healthier, meaning when we replace it, once we release it, if we don't replace it with something healthy, it's going to find its way right back in, because this is where it was housed. So it's going to continue to look for a home. But now if there's no longer a space for it to be housed, well, then it's got to move on and go somewhere else. So I had to begin to fill myself with things that were healthful and growing and nurturing and truly loving myself. And that's where, I really got engaged into the martial arts. I realized I needed a healthy physical outlet opposed to going out and partying and drinking and engaging myself in sexual activities that were unhealthy, and I cut drinking. I bought a bicycle. I started riding my bike more. I started reading more. I started writing more. I started spending more time with myself. I would have dinner with myself, and at first it was feeling real awkward and uncomfortable, but after a while I was like, you know what? I'm a cool dude, not getting cocky and conceited, but I'm a cool guy, I enjoy my own company. And then when I was able to get comfortable in that is when I wrote the letter to God, and it was, I believe that's what you're referring to about, we had written these letters to a higher power, and we say God because that's just the name that, that we give it, but, it's not in a religious sense, it's in a higher power sense. Wrote that letter to God about the one who was on their way, and got very specific about it. And that was at that point and period in which I did that, and it was before I knew my wife, and it really spoke to the power of manifestation. And when we truly are clear with our hearts and we put it forward, and then we prepare ourselves for that which we're asking, we're going to receive it.
And you said the letter was exactly who your wife is.
To the T.
To the T.
To the T. I mean, everything from asking for someone who's going to help shed the light on the spots of darkness within me, those places, those closets of insecurity, where we keep it closed. We don't want anybody else to know, because of how uncomfortable we feel about certain things, and, maybe, people have all different kinds of tendencies and habits, and we all have it because we're human beings, but to really ask for somebody who's going to help bring the light to that, because we know that only the light is that what truly heals or nourishes, and helps us really become who we are truly here to be. And my wife does that, and I'm not always
the door open.
Yeah, she kick in the door. You don't throw it; she kicks in the door. You know, and but the reality, and when those moments happen, I'm not feeling too comfortable about it. I feel kind of violated, or I get defensive, like, well, what are you talking about? What do you mean? But in reality, because I know who my wife is, because she is exactly who I asked for, I know that it's always done in love, and I know that there's no place in the world where I'm safer than with her. And this was brand new for me, up until this point of our relationship and our marriage. I hadn't experienced that before, so to the T. So that's what I was saying. I say before, and I say to everyone, be careful what you ask for, because you don't get it.
I'd like to thank both of y'all for coming out. This was a fantastic interview. Just let the audience know how they can get copies of the book, and how they can also get in contact with your company, so that you can come out and do this great workshop with all of these people. And you also have some other workshops that's fantastic. So just let them know.
Love, what do we have? Black Love. Black Love at Jaha, Jaha, International, spelled out.com. blacklove at jahainternational.com. Send us an email. Say you saw this wonderful show with Brother Marshall, and say you're either interested in books or you're interested in my husband and I coming out to host a Black Love party just for you. Family, friends, business members, people that you want to help out. We're open to any type of Black Love party, seminar, lecture. So send us an email, tell us what you're interested in, and we'll get a message right back out to you. And depending on if you do a full workshop or just the books, we'll let you know what the cost of that is as well.
And we also have the website, jahainternational.com, as well as a 49-passenger bus and a healing ministry. So my wife is an incredible healer. She provides wellness services. I'm a Tai Chi instructor and provide Tai Chi instruction and health and wellness. And together, we help make the family a much beautiful, stronger, and healthier family unit.
And we provide wellness weddings. We officiate, we're wedding officials, so we officiate the wedding as well. So we are one-stop shopping for good love at a good rate all the time.
Fantastic. Hey, thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Salaam. Thank you.